What's going on, world? I'm here with my homeboy today, Mr. C Spikes of C Spikes Production. We're going to talk about some of his music and some of the things that he got going on. So right now I'm going to introduce you to the man, himself. What's going on, Spikes?
What's going on, Trail?
I'm chilling, man. Just chilling. Just want to talk to you, let the world know about you. There's some people here around here that knows you. There's people in, other cities, but right now as a brand, I know you're trying to brand yourself worldwide, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we trying to do that. So we just gonna have a little conversation, and All right. So first off, the question, you're a producer,
Right.
but outside of producing, what made you get into music?
Well, when I was a kid, my uncle Ryder, he played drums. My whole family is, talented for singing and either playing an instrument or whatever, So it started from my granddad and my grandmother, Don. I was about to say Don Jones, Don Fortenberry, and Solomon Jones.
I'm gonna let you know your grandparents. No.
Oh yeah, I know them, but it's just the names didn't change.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't know which one to say, but yeah, they had a group back in the day in Virginia, and it was called Gospel Leaders. It was a well-known group. My grandfather was known for sounding like the famous gospel singer James Cleveland.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he was known for that, and outside of that, then I came along and I was playing tamarines, just beating on everything, beating on pots and pans. Don't try to fry me.
I was coming, but I'm gonna behave today.
Yeah, today.
How long before while you was playing drums did you decide that producing is the route that you want to go?
Well, when I started producing when I was 18, 19. When I made my first, I had a friend. He was like, man, you should try to learn this producing thing, cause I think you'll be able to do it. Cause I was messing around on the piano too, back in the day. But I wasn't making no real music. I would just, I would listen to something on the radio, and then I just try to play it, and then I actually would do it. So I just didn't think nothing of it, because I was like, man, I'm a drummer. That's all I wanted to do. So then my homeboy, he was like, yo, I think that you would be able to, do this. And due to my vision, I looked at the graphs and all that. I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to do this. So I got a little discouraged. And he was like, nah, you'll be able to do it. And I said, nah, that's too much for me. So I let it go. And I actually let me make a beat too. And then it made it, and it was all right. But then I called him one day. I was like, you know what? Hey, that software, Reason, let me, see what I can do with it.
Right.
And he was like, all right. Well, then he brought it to me, and started on my computer. And that was the best thing that I could ever, think of, that was just amazing to me. Like, how I sat there that whole night to the next morning and just created music. And once with the computer, and I had a Casio keyboard that, and my wife and them, mom and them, got, and I sat there, created music all night. I'm like, yo, I'm really making music right now.
Something about the vision. I remember when I first met you, and I heard the story. I heard the story about how your mom would tell everybody.
She'd go everywhere and tell that story.
I told one of my friends once that I knew you, and they was like, "Oh, did you know he can't see?" No. So I mean, when I first met you, I didn't know what that was about. So so could you tell the people, what exactly you mean about your vision?
Well, when I was born totally blind in both eyes. And I'm gonna try to make this short. Like I said, I was born totally blind in both eyes, and when I got to the age of, I believe it's 3 or 4, I always get the age mixed up, because like I tell everybody, my life began for real when I actually started to see. Anything before that, I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? So I started to see around 3 or 4. My mom, said I was seeing silhouettes. So she, when that situation happened, she took me to the hospital. And that's when they told her that I was seeing. And she was like, "But I thought he was blind or whatever." And they said, "Well, he's seeing something." And long story short, what's going on is I have it's called hypoplasia optic nerve. My optic nerves are deformed. So what that means, because like the doctor, they run tests on me like every year. I get a test every year, and on that test it shows up that I'm blind. So when I walk in there, they're like, "Oh, Mr. Spikes," for doctors that don't know me, they're like, "Well, we don't know how you seeing, but you walk right through here and you say you see," and I think that is one of the biggest things for me as a person and as a musician and producer that brings it brings a lot out of me, being visually impaired, and because I done been through so much, with the vision thing, and people saying, "Hey, he's not going to be able to do this, he's not going to be able to," I remember I was in the marching band. "Hey, he's not going to be able to march in the band and do the field show." My mama fought for that, boy. Now everybody going everywhere like that, but I did it though.
Alright, so you talked to me about, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, starting your music right around the time your wife gets ready to go to work. So how does your family play into all of this?
My family plays a big part in, I got I got an 8-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 1-year-old.
Okay.
And I'm getting to it. And how that works, because my daughter, when my wife is at work, my daughter helps me with my son. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's him being upstairs or taking him outside to play. So my family plays a big part, especially my wife, with investing in me and, believing in me and, just encouraging me to take it to the next level,
Okay, that's what I'm talking about right there. What do you think of the status of music today?
I think the status of music today is trying to get me in trouble.
I want to know, from a producer's perspective, what do you think about music and artistry, mainstream artistry? Because we know there's all different varieties out there, but what is being fed to the public? What do you think about mainstream music today?
I think the mainstream music today is horrible.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to explain. I
I'm gonna keep it G.
Okay, so what do you believe the issue is with music today?
Lyrics. That's is. You asked the wrong question, Montreal.
No, I think that's the perfect question.
I think the lyrics, because you got so many people, look at how the life is today. Everything is based, music is a strong factor, you know what I'm saying? And music or a public figure, you know what I'm saying? So you got these males calling women thoughts and hoes and all of them, and these women are going out there being what they're called. We don't have any real women no more. We don't have any real men anymore. Because men want to be drug dealers. They want to do what they're seeing on TV. They want to do what they see the rappers doing, not knowing that it's all entertainment. You know what I'm saying? If everybody could realize that, hey, this is entertainment, then music would, probably be okay. But everybody don't know how to just know that, hey, this is entertainment. They want to live in that moment. They want to go out and buy expensive cars and, and just do whatever they do with their money, blow their money on crazy stuff. And the music is dope. The producers that are making this music, they're very dope. And the artists, I like some of the artists, but some of the stuff just don't make no sense.
Now, a lot of that stuff is being sold. Do you believe that is the fault of the artist, or do you believe that is the fault of the consumer?
consuming.
Okay. So then that's, and I asked that specifically because, my views on music. In this day and time, we're quick to say the music out sucks. But no one points out the fact that there's plenty of people making good music.
Oh yeah, it is.
And plenty of people not buying it. People want to buy this. People want to buy it. You can't trust thoughts.
Yeah. When you got good music like, what's the song? What's the song like The Proposal?
Oh, I know that song. I know that song. It has some great lyrics from what I've heard. Tell me something about some of your upcoming projects.
I have a project. I'm actually about to leave to Houston. I'm going to be working on a project down there, along with some of VA's artists as well. I'm not going to leave VA behind. I'm going to Houston for about a month and a half. Is that a month and a half? Yeah, I'll be gone from the 14th of July to August 30th. So I'll be working on some projects out there with them, along with some of the artists that I work with here, and taking some of that stuff out there to combine a summer project, and then try to close out this year with, I really don't even want to base it on the summer project, but I know I'm thinking about titling the project C-Spikes Presents the Brand.
Okay.
Just presenting everything that I do. So it's gonna be hip hop on this album. It's gonna be every genre that you can think of. It's gonna be a compilation album.
So maybe I'll get a call on, this project. So maybe I'll do this. But man, it's been great sitting here talking with you, chatting it up. And I'm pretty sure I ain't gonna say pretty sure, I know we're gonna do this again. And I wish nothing but the best for you, man, and I see nothing but great things in your future, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
That's all.